The southern province of Zambia is traditionally known for its strong livestock production that contributes greatly to the country's economic growth. Most families in the rural parts of the southern province, like Macha and Mapanza, are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. Traditionally, cattle-keeping households require a huge piece of land specifically for cattle grazing. However, sadly, this trend might be a thing of the past, as such land is being demarcated and earmarked for commercial investment, because in most cases, the local people do not have title to such pieces of land. The Zambian government has provided a conducive environment for the growth of commercial agriculture in the country through the Lands Act of 1995. Modern commercial agriculture is not only limiting itself to the production of agricultural commodities or game ranching. Biofuel production as an alternative source of energy is becoming more and more prominent because of the high cost of petroleum products globally. Biofuel technology, such as jatropha growing, has been increasing steadily in the country, a situation that has continued to put pressure on the land. In most rural areas, communities believe that such huge investments are a cause of human displacements. Choma's Macha area in the southern province is one such area where human displacement has become a serious issue. The Zambia Land Alliance is undertaking a study to investigate the social impact of commercialization of land for agriculture, such as biofuel technology. A team of Zambia Land Alliance officials and researchers recently conducted a site visit to Macha in order to get first-hand information from the local community who have allegedly been displaced as the land they were settling on is being earmarked for jatropha production.
Ibana bonse mbagoguno mungando mube na twagazwa wakaliga kitomwarun bamba guti inkito twaguresha mube mari katugesi inyika iya ndokede nepenkeni yago ngomarago ngotwagupa kwa ukala ngotwagakara mube twahokala ina tulikedana enoguzwawo kwabora ibatotonka utigamuzwa mu mihini katuyitwagapebwa busenga.
The time came when we were told that we should move. So we just heard that there's some bulldozers at Mbabala, so they are coming. So it was around the 19 hours. So at that time, we were very afraid, and we even removed our iron sheets, trying to take them, we want to hide them in the bush, and we were scattered. In fact, we had nothing to do.
Thursday, 23rd September 2010 is a day that many people, especially the villagers from Choma's Macha and Mapanza's area in the southern province, will never forget. On this day, over 3,000 people from these two chiefdoms had their houses and food storage facilities set ablaze following a Lusaka High Court order to have them evicted.
So wabola ni omugu wakabola wali kushabantu so twali ukagira kuti tuyage na olokulima ngina twakalima pe unomwaga last year bina twakalima pe engana dalagira kuti pindi yake batata wakandipa busa kuti ndi yake kuya mbenda mana imu ndaga bakandipa busa na kuti ndilime so wakusana nkunda ali kulima ko bakaya ka restaurant ngonya akupenye kwa boma
eno tukeddewo gwina ebyagulya munda baguga kuti mutulime.
About 80% of the country's farming community consists of small-scale farmers, and the majority of whom cultivate on customary land.
From that time when they said you shouldn't plant, then we just saw this man, he brought a group of people who he employed to stamp. So they were just stamping all over. Near the yard, they were stamping. They were given 50 by 50. They were given 400,000 for stamping that 50 by 50. So they went as far as in the yards. Even in the yards, they were measuring 50 by 50. Then they put some holes, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. After putting, then they come, then they plant. They plant in the yard. So me, I asked them, but you, why are you planting? Why are you removing the trees and putting the holes and planting these plants? I hear that these plants, they are dangerous to children. And yet when these plants comes up, well, you want to put poison to safeguard these plants from being eaten by termites. Then I said, no, yes, in fact, you are not supposed to be here. So these plants, they are not supposed to be.
This white man has not brought any good development within this place, because the airport he has put, the local people are not benefiting. Nobody is actually using the airport. Of course, he has built a school for children, but also it is too expensive for the local people. This white man took most of the land. Now, this is our land. We don't want this land to be taken by the white men again. We fought for independence, and this is for our benefits. We want to live on our land. We are worthy every grain of this.
In winding up the tour, Zambia Land Alliance Executive Director Henry Machina gives an overview of the situation in Macha.
This is a classic example of a case where poor people who are powerless end up losing their means of livelihood simply because the laws do not protect them. These families, as you saw in the field, have been there for between 10 to 80 years, and now they've been told to move. And they are not very clear where they should go, because wherever they've been asking to go to, there is not enough land. And once they are evicted, they are vulnerable to food insecurity and many other different problems. We have one major problem also is that most people will stay on a piece of land for a long time without knowing the status of that piece of land, whether the land is customary or it's on title, and yet people continue to living on that piece of land. So our recommendation is that people must know the status of their land wherever they are in Zambia, even if they've lived there for a long time. That will prevent them from being evicted arbitrarily. And therefore we are appealing to government that this is the time to review the country laws, particularly with regard to large-scale investments. We have this particular case is a case where production of biofuels, and in particular jatropha, is pushing these people out of the land which they've been using for many years. And so we are appealing to government to say that they must put in place a legal framework that should protect people as these large-scale investments are coming into our country.